Hello.
That's by ya.
Happy Wednesday?
Happy, oh my gosh, what day is it?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday.
Oops. You moved this.
Oh, is that what it was?
Think so.
I was trying to figure it out. All right, everybody, everyone, every person. Happy Wednesday. Wednesday, man, middle of the week already.
It's going
Can't
by really
believe
fast.
that. Yes. So thank you guys again for watching the videos. Thank you for everyone who watched Emily Short today. Don't forget to push the like button, guys. Let me turn this off. Sorry.
Yeah, if you like.
What?
Well, I really appreciate everyone who takes the time to watch my content. And that, if when you like stuff, especially like the community posts, and you engage in my polls that I make there, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. So we're continuing, guys, with the week again. Same shit, different day, different topic. Today's topic is going to be relationships. Why not, right? Let's talk about relationships. Because, again, this is it's a new year. Resolutions have been made. Some people are trying to lose their relationship that they're in. Some people are trying to form new relationships. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic relationships. Not necessarily. All right, so let's talk about that. Hey, everybody, how's it going? Hi, Moo Moo, how's it going?
Hey there. Thank you so much for that like. I really
thank
appreciate
you so
it.
much. So anyways, let's get into the whole relationship things like we said, right? So it doesn't matter. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be romantic relationships. It could be work relationships. It could be, but I do believe that there are certain.
Thank you for those hearts.
I think that there's certain,
Like
what do you call that, Emily? What I'm trying to say, hold on. Rules? Is that the rule?
boundaries?
Boundaries? Boundaries, like, rules, I would say. Rules. Like, for example, I don't think, and this is real, okay, this is going to be a big one. People are going to get really upset if they watch this, if they want to comment. I don't think married people should hang out with single people, and vice versa. That's a big one. That's a big one. I get that one a lot. People get really upset when I bring it up in conversations.
Oh, yeah, because I would say that's like the most common issue with parejas, with couples.
Like, you got someone who has a boyfriend, right? Yeah. Like, for example, if I had a boyfriend, right? And then I bring Emily around. That used to happen a lot when I was married because Emily was the little sister, right? So she'd come whatever and people be like, oh, the third wheel, whatever. Or vice versa. You have a friend who's married, but you're not married anymore or whatever reason, and you guys still want to hang out. I think that's a conflict of interest.
And your partner's like, oh, so you just want to be single, right? That one's influencing you.
Weirdo.
Where?
Oh, he's that. Whoa, two weirdos? Hold on, guys. I'm playing detective.
Hopefully.
I'm playing detective. Hold on a second. One moment. You take it away, Emily, while I make this phone call.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, it causes issues in relationships. Like I said, if you're in a relationship, you're hanging out with someone who's single, your partner could be like, oh my gosh, you're that person's a bad influence.
Because two people just went behind your
well, they're
your
making
building.
a U-turn now. And anyways.
They're like homeless, just so you know. All right, bye.
What's this weirdo doing?
All right, go on. So anyways.
That weirdo over here is blocking the entrance.
What? Where? We're working security here. Oh, no. Let's see what's going on here.
Oh, maybe they're switching.
That way?
Oh, they're switching.
Where did the other couple go? So we're doing a little side kick here.
Like I said about the relationships, especially I think also I would say when you're single, it is kind of heck, hanging out with married people or people in relationships. Yeah, I just think it can cause a lot of problems, and I would say that's just my opinion. You should hang out with people who are single, just like yourself. If you're single, and if you're married, I would say only hang out with married couples, and because there's a lot of that going on as well.
I haven't seen okay. We had an incident. We had an incident recently. All right, and like, for example, okay, like Emily, right? Emily gets a lot of comments and messages sometimes, like, "Oh my gosh, aren't you embarrassed to be taking your pictures and putting it all over the internet? And oh my gosh, you're half naked and blah 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 and blah blah blah." And your response is, Emily?
Well, I mean, I'm single. I'm not married. I don't have children. So that's why I do it.
I think it would be very different if, for example, it was the opposite. Like because I've been married, because I have 6 kids, if I'd be putting myself naked out all over the internet, then I think it would be different. But I've been seeing this lately in everything that I've seen on social media, right? Where people are doing that. Like, at least when I was growing up, there was like, that was a thing. That was like a rule in our family, right? In an extended family in our family, right? Where it was like, married people should not hang out with single people. Single people, if you girls are single, you should be hanging out with the casada. And maybe that's very old school to think that way, but I'm starting to see it more because social media is so social, and because people are so quick to put their personal business online. I'm starting to see all these different scenarios, right?
Yeah.
So this scenario that I'm seeing, like I've noticed that. I've been seeing that, and I think it causes problems. I really do. But now in the work relation too, I think it's cool. I've had so many work wives, work husbands, or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yes.
You work with someone and you just hella get along with them. They're just so cool. They're so whatever. And but that's it. Like you're not supposed to go hang out with them after work, and I don't think that you should be doing that.
Yeah, that's just our opinion.
Again, I just don't think that. I don't think that. Like the guys, I have a lot of guy friends too who are like, man, I'm married now, but I still want to do guys now, like every Thursday or every Friday. It's like,
why would you get married then?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just
or
think
why do people get in relationships like that and then they're bitching like, I want to have a girls' night out. I want to have this. Then why are you
relationships?
in a relationship?
I feel this is just my opinion. Okay, I feel that relationships, they're like a contract. Do you guys remember? Maybe I'm too old, right? Do you guys remember back in the day when you had a cell phone or you had contracts? Do you remember that, Emily? When you had contracts, 6 months, a year, whatever it was, right? That's what they were called. You sign on them, and for that whole year, you were bind. It's like when you buy a car, when you buy a house, right? You're bind for 30 years, you're bind for whatever years, right? And so, I feel like these relationships, I think nowadays, I think that's what you need to do. You got to treat your relationship like a contract. And I think you need the way your phone updates every few weeks, every few months, the system updates. I think you need to keep your system updated and have a conversation with your significant other. Like, hey.
People get bored.
Yeah. Does this still work for you? Hey, we drink every fucking weekend, man.
Yeah.
Is this still working for you? Because one of them might be like, I'm sick of it. I'm so over it. Same people,
That's
same
when
crowd.
I think you would start having problems.
Right. That's one way. Or one of them likes to run and the other one likes to be couch potato.
Yeah.
And then eventually it's like, well, I don't want to be here all day laying down. It's like, well, I don't want to be fucking running and feeling like I can't breathe. You know what I mean? So, I mean, these are just little things that I've seen and I've noticed. And so that's why, I've noticed that. And what else was I going to say about the relationships, Emily? Just that.
These are
just things that I've seen. Again, and we're still pushing being true to oneself. Yeah. And I have noticed that a lot of times people, they stay in their comfort zone. And a lot of them, once they don't want to be in that comfort zone, when they want to venture out, it's very hard. It's very hard to leave they get really stuck in the time invested.
Oh, yeah.
Time invested, but they've been my friend for 20 years, or they've been my, whatever you want to call it, right? But the relationship. And it's very hard, I think. I don't know. I've had to learn. Bye, Moo. Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
I
had to learn the hard way. But do you know what I mean? Give me an example. I'm losing my words here.
What do you know?
Just an example when you have to cut people off, or when it comes to that point where it's just not working anymore.
Breaking up with someone?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's hard.
Or breaking up, or not necessarily breaking up, but growing apart, and you want something new. You want to venture out.
Yeah.
This genre thing you keep talking about, right? Where we feel like
hey, stop.
Where we feel you're stuck here.
I would think with the whole breaking up, you're saying with relationships, we're talking about romance,
any relationship.
right?
No, any relationship.
All right.
The friend that you've known since you were a kid, but they just keep fucking.
But they're doing
up,
some things that
keep
you just
getting in
don't approve
trouble,
of.
and you're just kind of
you're tired of it.
Fuck, I don't want to really be there. Or you're the friend that always has to fucking pay because that friend's always broke. Or you know what I mean? Real scenarios. Or your friend fucking drinks, and you know that every time they drink, they're gonna fucking start shit with people, and you just happen to be with them because they're your friend, you respect them, you want to hang out with them, but it's damn, dude, is it really worth me hanging out with them and putting myself in risk?
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to keep their mouth shut, or they don't know how to hold their liquor.
So you just cut them off then, but that's really hard to do.
But to say just cut them off, it's so hard.
It is.
So do you have any tips on that, since we're talking about relationships?
Well, it just takes a lot of practice, and you really have to think about, reevaluate everything, what's best for you. And I know everyone says, okay, but how do you do that? Well,
how do you do that?
I would say, how does it make you feel when that person is acting that way?
Do you think you should have a conversation with them? Remember the show Intervention? Hey, take them to lunch, and then be like, hey, man, so look, I've noticed that.
Okay, so what if that conversation goes way sideways, and that person's upset, and they're like, oh my gosh, so now you're judging me. You've known me for all this time, and that's wrong.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How can you soften the blow?
Because a lot of people they don't like the confrontation. They don't like to be real with their friends. I think real friends and people like that, you're supposed to, hey, tell them, hey, I don't really, I feel uncomfortable with that. And then if they're like, well, then don't be my friend or whatever, cut me off. I don't know. It's very tricky.
Well, but you've always been easy at cutting people off. So
no, I wasn't actually.
But you are now.
It took me a long time because I was seeing that there was nothing for me that wasn't benefiting in any way. Like I was always there as a friend. Hey, let me. And
We're
it's
not
just
allowed to talk about that anymore, Moo.
yeah. Like, I don't know, you cut me off. I don't remember what I was saying.
About relationships and
Cutting people off, okay? For example, like, let's say in the dating world, okay, I have a fucking, like, my whole list here. I got these guys, right? Oh, hey, I'm talking to this guy. And there's, one's just like a little more like, hey, can you send me pictures or whatever you're doing? One takes me on a date. The other one, not. We don't really hang out. We just like exchange pictures, okay? And then one actually takes me out, but I'm not really feeling that one. You gotta choose like which one is more beneficial to you. How do you feel? It just depends. And then it comes to a point where you're like, you know what, why am I doing this? I don't really like the guy that's taking me on dates. I just like him taking me out. But I really like the guy I'm exchanging pictures with. But there's nothing more that's going to happen because he doesn't like me like that. And I want to be with him, but he doesn't, he just wants to do the picture thing. He doesn't want to be in a relationship with me. And the other guy's interested in taking me on dates.
So how do you cut it off?
I guess it's hard, but you need to be like, hey, you know what? What's the point of me keep going out with this guy when at the end of the day, I don't want to sleep with him. I don't want to do anything like that with him. I just want to be taken out on a date. I really like the guy that I'm exchanging pictures.
Do you cut him
off?
Or what would you tell somebody who's going through that if there's a woman or a guy doing the same thing? Because guys do it too. I've met a lot of guys.
Okay,
like that.
You have to accept the fact that the person doesn't want anything more with you. They just want to be perverts with you, and it's up to you to be like, hey, do I want to continue that? This guy already told me he doesn't want to be with me. I just need to accept it. Okay, well, you need to accept it. Instead, a lot of people just know they want to keep chasing the person. They're going to change. They're going to make up their mind. No, they're not. No, they're not. You're just
okay, so that's a good point. Okay, I don't know so much about women because women are tricky. Men, if you're a woman, you're seeing a man, all right? And the guy, like, let's say you guys are just like bed buddies, right? Or friends with benefits, whatever you guys want to call that. I don't even know what they call it now, all right? But the guy's already told you, like the woman, you're a woman, you're into the guy. Like you really like him besides the other things you do, right? If a man tells you, I'm not interested in you like that. Like, we're cool, I like having fun with you, whatever. Men don't lie. It's very rare when it comes to their feelings, okay? They might lie about other bullshit, size, and whatever.
Yeah.
But as far as my experience, and again, because I've had so many guy friends, majority of them, when it comes to that shit, they're telling you the truth. So if a man is telling you, girl, I'm not feeling you like that. Like, yeah, like, and it doesn't matter. And because we're in this genre, I'm going to bring it up, right? Like, for example, I've known many women who had guys who were locked up. Okay, they've been doing many years. Okay, the women were doing the packages. They were running to the fucking whatever you want to call it, right? Then they got out and they were the ones holding the job down. They were the ones paying the bills, feeding the guy, keeping him, whatever. Like those jokes you see, right? With the EBT or whatever, the shrimp, whatever. Okay, and then the women don't understand when the guy's like, "Thank you so much, but like this isn't beneficial for me anymore. I have to move forward." And so
I would say let the man live.
But that's what I'm saying. So this is my advice for the women, right? If a man tells you that, to take it for what it is and take it for what it is. Enjoy the moment, because that's just my philosophy. What's good does not last. Anything good or great, it does not last forever.
Oh, aren't you being bitter?
No, I don't think so.
It's just our opinion.
That's just my experience.
Okay, and it sucks because it doesn't matter if like they're sleeping with you and all that stuff. Yes. It doesn't matter about the time.
But the men. Let's talk about this for a minute since you brought that up. All right, because I've seen it, and I'm guilty as well. Right, I was in love with this guy for years. I'm talking about teenage years, right? And then I got married to someone else, and then it didn't work out. I went back to that guy, thinking it was going to be good or whatever, right? And the guy would tell me, like, I don't, we're having fun. Like, I know I've known you since we were kids, whatever, but I don't want anything more than what's going on.
And it hurts. It hurts.
But again, I'm like, you're just saying that, right?
Yeah.
And then 3 kids later, guy's not here. Guy's not here. I'm not crying about it, right? I'm in that position. I take accountability, right? But I can't send the kids back. Kids are here. I got to do my best now to provide for them. That's why we do all this bullshit. And we put all the fucking cash apps and all that shit, all that too. We do the outreach stuff, but that's okay. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But it took me a long time to realize that. And now that I'm older, now that I realize that, and I see these young girls, and you hear these horrible stories of like the one we just heard of,
Yeah.
where people are involved in stuff, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean, things like that. Well, I'm sure maybe there was talk about that at some point. If the guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what I'm saying? You guys understand what I'm saying? I wish you guys would comment.
No.
Because I don't know if you guys know what I'm saying.
So back to that,
So
right?
back to that. So this is for the women, though.
yeah.
If a guy tells you, hey, girl, look, I like what we do, but I don't see us in the future. I don't see you
Like,
in my
maybe
future.
they're not taking you around their family, their friends,
Yeah,
people that
breakdown.
you would know, like in town, if you're in the same town, you know, taking you at events like that, family events.
Or if they're calling you their
anything.
friend.
Yeah, definitely.
friend.
And again, it's up to you, because, you know, I'm so sick of hearing about, narcissist, and these women are victims, and about narcissist. He
Right,
manipulated me.
right.
No, you didn't. You make the choice because you do see red flags. If something makes you feel uncomfortable, like, oh, I didn't really like how you told me that, like, well, then go with that. And then if you have that conversation with the person, hey, why didn't you introduce me as like your girlfriend, or like, oh, because we're not dating. We're just doing our thing. And it's up to you to be like,
So
well,
am I going to allow myself
Yeah.
to continue to be just a friend?
and then you can't go blame the person, like, he manipulated me. He was such a good narcissist, because you see so many topics about this relationship stuff.
That's the thing I've been
and
seeing a lot,
everyone's blaming the other person's flaws or whatever, like they're narcissists. No, it's not. It's your choice. At the
Okay,
end
now
of
if
the
you
day.
don't know what a narcissist, let's talk about that, because I think people get narcissists confused with being dominant. All right, a narcissistic person, they really truly in their heart believe that they don't do anything wrong. They feel like you made them get upset.
Yeah.
Somebody else. They will never take accountability and be like, I fucked up, I'm sorry. No, they'll be like, well, it wouldn't have happened if you wouldn't have fucking done X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So that's what a narcissist is. Like this whole gaslighting shit, you know, so what you know too, like it's like when someone, you see them doing it, and then you're like, I saw you doing that, and they're like, deny. That's what a gaslighter is. In case you guys weren't aware of that, because I see these terms, but then I see people use them, and they're using them in a totally different
just your point of view.
Different. No, that's not a point of view. That's what the definition is.
All right.
But yeah, that's all included in relationships, right? Then you got the aggressor and what's the other one, Emily? The one that's aggressive, and like the dominant and the submissive.
Yeah.
Right? The beta and the alpha, you know, all this bullshit that people want to use, right? Can two alphas date? I don't know. I've never seen it. And psychology says that most men are betas. So they like guidance. They like structure. They like someone to kind of...
And then some men also, it's so sad. Well, it's not sad. It's their choice. They choose to be with these type of females or whatever, with these people like that, you know, and they...
Well, okay. I feel like, since you said that, I feel that a lot of these people I've been seeing, they choose women out of their league, and then they have to deal with the repercussions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to go there, but you know what I'm going? Like, for example, what do I mean by that? Like, I've been seeing a lot of posts, right, in relationships and stuff about where people are like, oh, that woman's just a gold digger. Or, oh, yeah, like, I would have been hella sweet to her, but, like, she just wants money. Or you know what I mean? Like, those things. And it's like, okay, you're choosing a woman who I feel, in my opinion, is out of your league. What do I mean by that? If you're a pot smoker and the woman's not a pot smoker, if you're... Give me an example. Like, if you are a father, but you don't live with your kids, you only see your kids like so many months out of the year, you don't see them every day on a daily basis, you live in the same town or whatever.
You're not with them 24/7.
Yeah. Then, and that woman's always with her kids, then that's someone out of your league.
Yeah.
These are just things that I've observed in my own life recently.
And it's very controversial because people get really pissed off.
Yeah, people get very pissed off. Like, for example, you know, again, I had a situation, and again, don't get me wrong, like, I love people. I love people in general. You know, I like to be cordial and respectful and talk to people and whatever. But I've had it happen recently where there was a person who was, you know, sending me some messages and stuff. And they were like, yeah, you know, I really like you, blah, blah, blah. But it was like, well, I have to be very honest with you. And I'm going to be very honest with you. Like, I like that you like my stuff. I like this and that. But I don't like that you do this and this and this. And we're going to close it off with that.
Right.
Have a good night, guys. Don't forget to give it a like. Thank you so much.
Great.